Okay. Um, it's almost ready. Let's start by doing the planetary guide.
Okay.
I wish it was like predictable what day, what weeks we weren't going to be on, so that if it was like the third Sunday
hmm
or something. It just doesn't work that way. All right, I think we're on.
Okay. So we'll start with the planetary guide.
All right. What's today?
Today is the 29th.
March 29th.
hmm
We'll read the week ahead.
Okay.
March 30th to April 5th. Um, the week starts out with Venus moving into its domicile, Taurus, on Monday, ushering in an almost 4-week period that favors peace, art, diplomacy, and romance. This is an excellent opportunity to weed out difficult people so you can spend your time with good-hearted folk who are easy to get along with. Wednesday's full moon on April Fool's Day is no joke. Your sense of self and status could be undermined by manipulative people, so be careful who you trust and confide in. Friday is an auspicious time for solitary work, so try to schedule paperwork, research, writing, and catching up on emails for this day. Teamwork could be fraught with power struggles, so go it alone. This is also not a good date night, as charming wolves in sheep's clothing could present a false sense in order to seduce and gain the upper hand. Trust your logic when it comes to affairs of the heart. Weekend outlook. Saturday is an excellent day for catching up and socializing. If you celebrate Easter, Sunday could be fraught with ego clashes during get-togethers with extended family. If you can think up a good excuse, there is no harm in a dine and dash. That's weird. Tips for a 5-star week. It's better to stay behind the scenes and on the work, catch up on your work than deal with the intricacies of group dynamics.
So this would not be as a collaborative a week. Um,
Right.
but also since you've been feeling under the weather, it's probably a good idea for you to step away from a lot of interactions in general.
Mm,
And this would probably be a good time to tuck away. Um, and I know you have places outside the home that would be a good place to do that. So it might be a good idea to go there and hammer out. Maybe it's admin stuff, but outside of that, I think this would be a good time to do your artistic endeavors,
mm.
or even without plans, just to like take your art supplies, go to your fancy gym or something, or the park, or just somewhere and be alone and just create. I think that would be really helpful for you right now.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's good. I just painted something yesterday. Do you want to see it?
Absolutely.
I found these at Michael's.
Oh my God, that's so pretty.
I know, right?
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. I love how you have the shadowing of the tulip. It gives it dimension.
I know, right?
Oh,
It
that's
was
so
very
cool.
fun. It was a little hard.
Because of the shape of it.
It was, yeah. But also I decided that I wanted the lines to be crisp and not,
Ah,
so I had to really double down on it.
did you use tape or did you freehand?
No, I just freehanded it.
That is so impressive, dude.
I know, I'm
That's
impressed.
very good. And the colors, the primary colors, really make it look like a quirky ant's art house.
I
I
know,
love
right?
that.
The extreme contrast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
And like
love
not
that.
having it take away from the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you've got kind of like the milder colors framing the tulips. It almost looks like a beam of light shining down on
Yeah.
the flowers.
And I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with this piece. This was my first color, these ones. I put these here
Hmm.
first, and then everything else around them. It
Yeah,
was
I
fun.
love that.
I got to spend a bunch of time on it, so it was nice.
Yeah, just a way to like create and shut down the one side of the brain and light up the other side.
Yeah, for
More of
sure.
that. Um, as you already know, I signed up for a 4 week art class that is going to start on April 12th. And so we're moving our Sunday meetings for those weeks to Saturday for the same time, starting April 11th. But there is 1 week that we will not be here. Um, Let me
I
double
can't believe
check.
you're doing this class. That's so cool.
I know, I know. I'm really excited.
I'm
Um,
excited for you too.
the the 25th is going to be the day that we are not doing this. But the other Saturdays will be here on April 11th, April 18th, and May 2nd. And then we'll go back to our regular Sundays starting May 10th.
Are we gonna meet on Easter?
Um,
Or should
when,
we start the Saturday thing on the 4th?
when is Easter?
It's the 5th.
Oh, I are you planning on going to like church or anything on Easter?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Honestly, it's up to you. I have no connections to Easter whatsoever. So whatever feels right for you.
I think we should do the 4th.
Okay.
Just have all of April be Saturday.
Okay.
Except for the 25th, of course.
Right, which we won't be here. Okay, that sounds good to me. So next Saturday will actually be our first Saturday. Um, and then we'll come back to Sundays on March 10th.
Cool.
But yeah, so the art class is kind of like I'm excited to put myself out there and do something because I didn't get to take art in high school and I wanted to. So I never got the actual like fundamentals from a teacher. And you don't necessarily need those in order to make art, but it's something that I've wanted for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to get like an actual structured thing where I sit down and teachers are going to explain like, or a teacher is going to explain um, like some of the fundamentals that I may have picked up on, but not gotten an actual
Mm-hmm.
instruction. And there's only 6 people in the class. So it's going to be nice and intimate, and I'll feel more comfortable asking questions or asking for help. Um, and I actually want to use some of that knowledge because it's focusing on still life to enjoy like my yards and like the trees and stuff on my I want to say land, but it's I'm in a suburbia, but like there's pretty native stuff that grows here. And I really want to be able to go and appreciate that and spend more time outside, which is something I've been kind of flirting with for a minute, but
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to have a way to communicate it visually with myself. And I think this is going to be an exciting foray into that. And I also happened upon a book that kind of really continuously lit this fire that's been coming towards me regarding outside. And that is a book called The Overstory by Richard Powers. And it's a long one. The audiobook is like 20 some odd hours long. Um, but so far I think I've got maybe a few hours left of it. It is incredible. It focuses around trees and like specifically like ancient trees. And the idea is that, I mean, there's stories with multiple different people that their connecting force is trees. And they have these different stories and different experiences that all get brought together by the understanding of the danger that the most ancient trees in the country are in. But it also is a reflection of like life itself and the different intricacies of life and nature, as shown through the metaphor of these trees. It's both like poetic and real at the same time because obviously what they're saying about the threats to the environment are real, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
just about that. It's also about people and human nature and earth nature, and the the way that it's written really speaks to my soul. It's not, there are some parts that like slapped me across the face, like specific events with people, but then there's also a lot of reflection, and it spans like the very first story starts from a first generation immigrant who plants a few hazelnut trees. Uh, and that that tree becomes the focus of a family that goes on for generations, the one that survives. And I don't want to go too much into it because it I don't want to spoil the experience, but
Mm-hmm.
it really is, it's that. It's an experience. It's not one
Mm.
story, it's many stories. They do connect. And yeah, it just absolutely incredible. And I'm loving every minute of it. It's definitely gonna reach the top tier of my favorite books of all time. It's gonna be up there with the top three to
Wow.
five. Yeah. So
What's it
I
called
would,
again?
it's called The Overstory, all one word. Um, I mean Overstory is not the obviously. And it's
Mm-hmm.
by Richard Powers and just so incredible. And also the verbiage used and like the writing style differs slightly from person to person, even though it's not in first person. It's in third person, but I would say it's kind of third person limited with a few omniscient aspects sprinkled in there. But um, it's really, it's a magical experience, and I would recommend it. I think you would enjoy it too, but it is, I had to borrow it from one of our library apps. And so you might see if it's available as well. The audiobook is fine. I have no complaints there really. And so I think the audiobook can give a really good experience for anyone really. And I really enjoy listening to the audiobook and staring, like going outside in my front yard and staring at my shade tree and just like
Mm.
looking around me and experiencing the poetic language um, alongside actual physical nature. So,
This is like, um, well, your mission to not be afraid of plants is like, this is a huge thing. This is such a huge part of that
hmm
because you're not just like trying to force yourself to like something, you're trying to understand why it's
hmm
important that you do
yes.
and that you don't, why it's important that you don't fear it, maybe. And like to do that, sure, people can be like, oh, I don't fear this anymore. And then they can just intellectualize their way out of it. But like, that doesn't mean that the feelings go away or like the
hmm
reason for it is
Right.
gone or whatever. So truly, truly understanding why something like nature is important for like humanity,
hmm
not just important for you or for me, it's important for every single human.
Yes.
Yeah, that's huge, man.
It is absolutely huge. And I do think that you would enjoy this.
Me too.
If you get the audiobook from the library or something, I think you would
Hmm.
enjoy it. And I'm probably
Yeah,
gonna buy it on Audible at some point so that I can have it in the future whenever I want.
I love
But
that.
assuming that Amazon doesn't do a thing. Um,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
but yeah, I definitely recommend that. And I it's one of those books that comes around once in a while.
I understand that. It's probably such an easy read because, like, if the interest is high.
hmm And it honestly, like, it got me with the poetic language in the very beginning. Um, but the story itself within a few chapters, I was like, all right, I want to see where this goes. And just when you get sucked into one person's story, it switches to another. And then I'm like, how dare you? But then at the end, it's worth it. Since there are so many main characters, it is sometimes it's tricky to remember who's who, but I feel like the more into it you get, the easier it becomes
Mm,
to keep track. So,
cool.
well, that's our book talk. Um,
I have two things.
yeah.
One is I'm definitely starting a new Unmasked group, and I have my new Scarlett. They're a person that I met at LSN actually, and they're very, and by new Scarlett, I mean a person who like knows it's a good thing for them, is willing to spend the time and understands like the value of spending the time in a container for of healing like this.
Hmm.
And their interest is in recovery from their religious trauma,
Oh.
which a lot of people have.
Hmm.
So I'm very excited to build a new group. Um, there's that. And so I don't know when it's going to start, but I've just been beginning to like get advertising for it rolling.
Hmm.
That and my Unmasked group. You know about this one?
No, but I have a feeling I know what it is.
What?
Is it our 102 group? Is it like our follow-up maintenance
Yeah.
mode moving forward from the past? I love
Yeah.
that.
So you know I signed you up. But like obviously I want you to be a part of it because I feel like you would be in a phase for this, but the way that I think that it will be would be like meeting monthly,
Mhm.
like the first or third or whatever, blah, 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 of whatever month. And the purpose, actually, I have a doc I'll share.
Okay.
Hold on. Mm, the biggest thing about these groups is that my sliding scale situation is different, which is exciting because, here, let me find it. Um, Maybe I'll just share this screen. All right, let me know if you can see. Um,
Yep.
so the Unmasked group meets once a month. It's $50, 8 people maximum. And um, really what we're doing is these things, arrival regulation, monthly reflection, pattern review, tool refinement, application, integration and commitments. So kind of like what we do here in the beginning, where you and I are like, okay, um, but like more specific space. But anyway, the sliding scale is anyone can get 50% off. And I says two, but like I'm not doing that anymore because everyone is fucking poor.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone who has low or no income is coming for free. And anyone who makes less than 50 grand is coming for 50% off. And I just decided that that's going to be it. So if every single person in there has full scholarships, and that's how it's going to be. Um, because we can always use money as an excuse. Always. The people I reached out to were like, ooh, money's just so tight. I'm like, it's not that because this is not expensive. And like Unmask is more expensive, but those same rules apply for
Hmm.
this. It's really getting people to spend the time on themselves. Like when the money thing is an excuse, I don't know because I have always just been like, if this group is for me, then it will be possible with whatever money I have. And that's been my truth in like doing, being a part of peer groups that I've not created. Um, and it's either been like free or half off, or I've been able to pay for it, you know? So like I never worry about that. And I just am, frankly, I'm sick of the no money excuse, you know, because like I could spend $50 on fucking at the bodega every day. Why can't I spend it? You know what I mean? That's my train of thought and being okay with spending money on healing. But anyway, so now there's like literally no excuse, and I hope that people, um, I hope I can find some folks that want to come to this one because I know I am desperate. I could surely use it. I haven't had since I quit LSN or the loft, um, slash they fired me. I haven't really had any, um, I haven't had any support in any way
Yeah.
except for chats with my local barista, you know. So I'm really looking forward to getting to these spaces.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's that, and I also wanted to let you know um, that I finally have been posting um, the first Friday interviews that I did so long ago on our YouTube.
Ooh.
Um, this one I had posted for a while, but
Hmm.
basically it's just coming down to me finding the videos wherever they are, uploading them, and then putting, a thing
Hmm.
on them. And I just put Diana's on there. So I
Very
have a couple more
nice.
to do, and then I'd like to start it back up again.
Okay.
I'd like to start doing First Friday again. And I feel like this will um, be maybe the beginning, at least for me, of getting in um, the space of wanting to do stoner queer again.
Hmm.
Because I already have, remember how easy it was for me to put artists on?
Hmm.
We booked up the whole year. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if we started again, how we're gonna do it and like what changes we'll make.
Right.
Because we really were fucking working. And both of us know that we can't work like that now. So,
No.
which is good because we both have boundaries now around our time. So,
Hmm.
and we gained that. I think that we, by the end of the year, we did gain that. Um, it just took I think, a long time for us to understand our time boundaries.
Right. Oh, so yeah, lots of new exciting things that you've got going on that are coming up. I am on the same page about Unmasked. I think that we both need it. Um,
Mm,
and I think it's a natural next step from the previous meetings because we're going into it from a different mindset. Like we can skip over the part where we're learning how to do these things and now we can reinforce them and
yeah.
um yeah, I love this idea and I
And
think
I
it's going to be perfect.
I think I want the natural rhythm to be that when someone graduates out of Unmasked, they join us,
Hmm.
because I don't think it matters where you are after you've learned the principles that you learned in that year of Unmasked. I feel like that puts you in a pool of, you know, n- there's just a lot more that we know and a lot of language around what we learned. So it's, easier to talk with peers about it. Whereas in Unmasked, when we're really just learning what even anything is, um, that's where we learn the information. So, and what I don't, and like, remember the survivor group I told you I was a part of, what I didn't like about that? And like, I feel like I learned this from when Unmasked ended, is that I don't like that there's no container for me or anyone to go into afterwards. You're just like, okay, free, you're just out there now.
Hmm.
No guidance. I mean, we have our tools, but like no, the community was instantly just gone. Obviously,
Mhm.
you and I stayed in community, but we have other connections. But like, other than that, there's just no other community.
Yeah.
So I think that it would lead to just building a community of self-healers.
Yeah. And also, yeah, in that community, even just talking about your little victories or things that you notice, also knowing that you're going to be doing that in the next meeting kind of keeps things more alert in your mind. So you're more likely to
Mm-hmm.
subconsciously take mental notes because you don't want to show up to the next meeting and then just be like, I don't know what happened last month. So you're
Yeah,
kind of like little moments, even just with this meeting, I'll have little nuggets and I'll be like, oh yeah, I can't wait to mention this in the next meeting.
me too.
Um,
Yeah.
so having that in a space that is specifically for practicing what we've been working on, um, I think that's really going to make us more aware in our day to day of how we're
Mm-hmm.
handling things and how things make us feel and whether or not we do it the best way that we want to.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really miss like getting ideas from other people.
Hmm.
Like someone else being like, "Oh, this is what I say," or "This is what I do." I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah."
Hmm.
I need that. So, and also just in general, the last week or two, I've been really, I've been like organized and have the energy to like do things. So I have this little packet of things that I need to do shit with, like create lessons or whatever the hell I'm gonna do with it. And I just haven't been doing it and I haven't wanted to at all. And I think clarity is what I'm feeling very clear enough to like look at the things and then know what I want to do with them and then do the things with them. And
That's beautiful.
yeah, like really checking off the list items.
Hmm.
And like I've been adding when we have a bye week, I'll still add stuff to my top 20, but I'll just do it like as the week goes. I'm like, "Oh, let me add this." Because I'm really
Hmm.
doing the whole process in my head just throughout time since I'm not doing that dedicated space. Although sometimes I am just like journaling a lot when we're supposed to have Sunday service if I'm, not busy,
Which is important. Like, just because we're not streaming doesn't mean that we shouldn't still be holding up the practice.
right?
So even if we're not doing it in front of people or in the exact same point by point way with the
Hmm.
visuals, we still need to keep the muscles of the designated planning period, whether it's a few minutes or an hour or whatever.
Yeah. I want to try to start using the template we have on YouTube and
Hmm.
seeing how it is for me if I want to just on my own just, press play and then just keep it over there so I can see it, see what
Yeah,
happens. I don't know. I've never used it. We made it, but I've never used it. So,
interesting. Okay.
yeah, have you used it? I mean,
I've
aside
used
from
it.
us during Sunday service, but you've used it on your own?
I've used it before. I don't use it every time because sometimes, most of the time, when I do my planning outside of our, when we have bye weeks, it's a little less structured. But I
Hmm.
kind of made in the past couple days, I hit a moment where I was at a really pretty low, and I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't like the way that I'm feeling right now. And part of it is because I lapsed my medication and I'm only just now starting to get back into it. Um, but I was like, I really need to. I sat down and I made a list of everything that I think is impacting me negatively and the things that I want to do differently. And so I'm going to try to be really strict with myself, while still giving grace, but more like on top of things in a way that is keeping in mind the long-term effects of things. And so I'm hoping
Do you
that
have
I'm
an
going to be,
example that you can share?
um,
If it's too personal, obviously don't.
some of them are too personal, but let me look at my list and see if I can give a good idea of any of them out loud. Let's see. I named it funk.
Hmm.
Um, so some of the stuff that on there that I realize might be impacting me poorly are like poor diet, not enough outside time, the basic stuff. But then inconsistent routine. And I did account for things like med lapse, and certain distractions and overstimulations, stuff that we've talked about before. But I also remembered that some things that I've been impacted by are realizing in real time, you know, this isn't a good idea, or I really shouldn't do this, and then just continuing on anyway. And so, one of the things that I put on here was to allow myself to say no. This is a bad idea, or this isn't going to help me in the long term, and this is going to make me sad or frustrated or funky. Um, and kind of put my foot down with myself. Like
Hmm.
I deserve to get out of this cycle here. And so I'm gonna try really, really putting my foot down on those things. And another one is back to the classic journaling. I'm going to force myself to journal every single day, like every single day. And so I created a new Penzu account with a different email address, and I'm just gonna like its sole purpose is just junk. Like just every single day, I put day numbers to encourage me. And I'm just gonna force myself to write whatever's happening and then probably never look at it again, or at least go under the assumption I'm not going to look at it ever again. And that takes the pressure off that even if I like do it at night right before my Ambien kicks in, and then my Ambien kicks in and it turns into gibberish, that's fine.
Hmm.
Um, so I am on day 3 of journaling. So it is very fresh, but I was very productive yesterday because I put some of the stuff into play. And there were a couple moments where I was tempted to fall back into old habits. And I'm like, no, we're not going to do this. We're going to redirect and we're going to do this instead. Um, and so I'm going to see how long I can keep this going. But I was really excited when I was making this list to for this meeting and also for my 5-day challenge. I want to jump back into that with even more enthusiasm because
Mm.
after taking a time and just listing out, here are things that could be impacting my funk, and here are things that I wish were different, and here are things that I can make a change with, like things that I can do, accounting for my journaling and my routine and accounting for a certain period of time where I go outside and just little things that I know I should be doing but haven't been strict about on a regular basis that have been throwing my routine for a loop. It also probably didn't help that my person was gone for a big period. So a combination of that change in my everyday and my medication lapse, it's just been all funky.
Hmm.
So I just kind of like I gotta put the foot down and I gotta start getting stuff back in order because I deserve to have that structure back.
Yeah, that's very inspiring and impressive. I did a similar journaling boot camp thing. I like have 3 different journals going. That way, there's no excuse. Even in like my work notebook, I have a section where I can journal.
Hmm.
And I've been like going to the coffee place in the morning specifically and just bringing my journal and sitting there and journaling. And I put one over by my area where I meditate. So if that's the only thing I do, that's
Hmm.
also great. Remember, did I show you that I told you about the journal that I put like messages in some of the pages? Did I tell you
I
this?
think so.
Yeah, I like had vision boards that I deconstructed and I like took them and I put them throughout the book. So when I
Hmm.
get to a page, um, it will just automatically trigger me
Yeah.
in a good way. And then the gym has helped a lot for
Hmm.
sure. And I like the idea of you saying you putting your foot down with yourself because there's several things. I started my habit tracker again because usually that helps me um not shame me, but remind me of my goals. And
Hmm.
like, man, a whole month goes by and I'm fucking just checking the boxes on the things I don't want to do anymore. that I'm
Mhm.
doing, and I'm like, what's the purpose of this?
Mhm.
How am I accountable? And then there's part of me that's like, well, I'm just collecting data. Like, yeah, but this isn't my first fucking rodeo. Yes, I'm just collecting data, but also I'm alarmingly aware of how I can change. I can put my foot down with myself while I'm collecting this data, and I can see the numbers change for me real
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
So, um, yeah, the accountability thing is pretty big. I
Yeah.
feel like we're both kind of working on that. Like we do have the tools to like get out of a funk or do whatever, but it really is takes discipline. It really takes discipline.
Especially when life events like shake everything up, it makes it harder to get back on track.
Yeah. Or if you're being yelled at every single day for some reason,
Yeah.
that'll do it.
So it's when it's hardest to get back on track is when it's probably most important.
Yeah. It really, I feel like, is making me choose myself in ways that I'm not used to choosing myself. Either because I'm with myself, so I'm always choosing myself, or because when I'm around somebody, I always tend to choose that person, whoever they are,
Mm.
instead of my own.
Mhm.
And to the point where I get foggy about what my wants and needs are versus whoever's in my environment.
Mhm.
I'll just take on their needs and their desires and whatever because
Right.
it's an easier path to just be like, whatever you want to do, that's what I want to do.
Right.
And that sounds fun because that's what we do. Um, and there's like fear of disappointment, like what it looks like to disappoint someone, like how, um, like what effect that's going to have on me, the consequences of disappointing.
Mhm.
Sometimes I can't handle that emotionally or mentally or spiritually. So the path of least resistance is like a thing.
And that's very true. Like struggling as against friction and against conflict and just wanting to people please. That's real.
Yeah,
But we can't please them very well if we're deteriorating, so we also have to keep that in mind.
that's a good one. That's helpful to hear. I've been more mindful and conscious about energy also, like forgetting that it's not just like, oh, I'm low energy. No, like forgetting or like remembering that what energy is and how real it is and how uh in control we can be
Hmm.
with our inside energy and outside energy. So that's been helpful. And also coming here,
Yeah,
very helpful for most
absolutely.
things.
And it's good to see your face.
Same.
Well, speaking of coming here, I guess we can go ahead and get started. So this is our ADHD planning meeting, which we usually will start with half an hour to an hour of just talking, and we already did that. Basically, we focus on structure and accountability and showing up for yourself, which means practicing time management, self-care, and grace for ourselves. We want to make realistic plans and define what on time means for the day. For us, that meant a little bit later, but we're still here. We delegate when we need to and build rest and joy into our days. So, some tips for a successful planning meeting: we want to honor the moment and set the tone. This is about ritual. So, while we're here, we want to be present, curious, and grounded, and we want to stay inspired. We can curate the vibe with lighting, music, fan heater, things to keep us comfortable. We want to handle the basics, like stretching, hydration, snacks, and we want to grab tools like pens, notebooks, the laptop, calendar, things that help you focus. And then we also want to use our resources. So we have a Notion template and we also have a
Hmm.
visual, um, we have a visuals and timer video on this channel that you can use if you're ever not able to come, but you still want to go through the steps. So we do this in 4 parts. We'll do a 20-minute brain dump, then we'll do 10-minute reflective questions about the week. We'll do 15 minutes for our top 20, and then we will take 10 minutes to add things to our calendar. I just realized I am not sharing the visuals. So let me fix that. And all right. I've got a bit of a lag, so it's taking a minute.
Yeah, there's like a slowness on my end too.
Share. There we go. Okay. So we will start with our brain dump. So we're going to take 20 minutes to do this, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. Um, Basically, you will just take whatever's taking up space in your mind and kind of put it out onto paper or into Notion or whatever. It can be a list, it can be a block of text, it could be both. You could use categories or not. And then later on, we're going to add more structure to it. So there's no pressure of getting it a certain way. So 20 minutes here, and then we'll go on to the next section.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mhm. All right, that's time.
How did it go?
Went pretty well. I made a new 5-day challenge, borrowed heavily from previous 5-day challenge, but incorporated going outside and journaling and stuff into it, and also incorporated a new wake up time since we started getting up a little bit earlier. So, and then jotted down a bunch of meal ideas as well.
Hmm.
Mm.
So what's the value of your what is the value of your 5-day challenge that you see so far?
It allows me to see my free time or just my time in general as like blocked out so I can visualize instead of just blindly saying, well, I want to do all this stuff. It's like I put I
Mm.
put approximate times and approximate time periods of how long these things take. So, and also knowing that I have the challenge encourages me more to like, I just need to get through these days of doing this. And I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
gradually able to figure out, okay, well, this sucked trying to do this for a week, or this actually made a positive impact.
I like
So,
the 5-day nature of it. Do you have this in Notion or something, or is it on paper? You know,
um,
I want to make like a little worksheet.
uh, I
Because that's really cool. I like that.
I have it in Notion on my personal Notion. Um,
Well, if you could send me some sort of like shelled out template, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. I'm just curious to see what it looks like visually, so I could maybe start something of my own.
yeah, yeah, I could do something like that. I could share that with you.
Because like the habit tracking, like what I mentioned earlier, like it usually works for me to be able to know that I'm just like, these are the things I'm tracking. I know why I'm tracking them. I know that I'm collecting data, but like also, I haven't been able, I'm not in the habit of habit tracking. So like I am doing okay right now, but still I'll go back and be like, oh shit, it's been 3 days and I don't remember. So also my memory is suffering because I'm not doing the habit trackers. I'm not having a good memory practice of revisiting the day before, right? So like I'll
Mhm.
sit down and look at it in the morning, um, but I'm not going through my whole day like, oh, I woke up, what was that like? And I think that maybe that's the practice that I miss is being like, okay, let me go line by line yesterday,
Mhm.
not in a judgy way, but just like the events. That way I can, and that was really like a good memory practice.
Mm. Mhm.
So since I'm out of practice with that and with habit tracking, um, maybe maybe I can put habit tracking on my challenge list, you know?
Yeah, maybe, maybe. Yeah, I can make a shell version and then I can send that to you, like a screenshot of what mine looks like.
Perfect. Maybe we can
Um,
use this tool for Unmasked.
maybe, maybe.
We'll
All
see.
right. So we'll go to our next section, which is reflective questions. So what we want to do here is we want to take 10 minutes and think about our previous week. We want to ask ourselves things like, how is my week and all my roles and goals and why? What worked? What can I do differently? What needs following up on? Um, and sometimes I've noticed I will just do like one paragraph that incorporates the main key points of the reflection. And sometimes I will list it out separately, but lately I've been doing it um, in one paragraph or so. So just whatever feels right. If you think you'll hit all the points. But the main purpose is a memory exercise. And like we were just saying, and thinking about our past week, sometimes we can remember things that we weren't initially considering in planning our next week. So we'll take 10 minutes and then we'll come back to it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that's time.
Okay. How did you do?
I think I did okay. I definitely went with the paragraph and basically listed out uh the things that I was feeling last week up until Friday night and remembered some stuff that I wanted to apply to um my goals for this week, but really doubled down with myself on what I'm planning to do. So mostly just writing things that I sort of figured out for the sake of um, solidifying it,
Mm-hmm.
and also writing some unpleasant truths that I kind of tried to press down.
Mm.
But I got that out at the beginning. That way I can redirect toward the end. How about you?
Um, good. Well, like I had to remember I'm in such like a state today that it's like, it's hard to like think anything is good
Hmm.
or that anything goes well. But the truth is that last week was very productive and I got a lot of work done. Um, and medicating for pain has helped me so much. Like I have so much more energy, and I'm like witnessing myself and like how I am, and realizing that it was really hard to do that because of the amount of pain that I've been experiencing every single day for a long time, probably a year now.
Hmm.
And I just haven't been a chronic pain person so long. So anyway, um, I'm happy to feel that way.
I'm really glad. And I'm glad that you took a minute to reflect because that's kind of part of why we do this, is because so many times we won't consider certain aspects. And it'll be easy to let our current mood affect how we see things unless we force
Hmm.
ourselves to look at everything.
Yeah. And I'm like a high energy person naturally. Like people think I'm on cocaine regularly. During the
Wow.
day, night, doesn't matter when it is, people think I'm on cocaine. And like aside from just saying that to me or asking me, people are trying to sell it to me in a way where they're talking to me like I'm a drug user. So I'm like, I don't know." So anyway, I'm a very high energy person by nature, and I have this last week because I'm on a regimen. I'm on a ibuprofen regimen. That and I have some herbs and chamomile that I've been dosing also that's worked for me in the past. So
Mhm.
in sticking with it, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot how much energy I normally have for a living.
That's awesome.
Wild.
I mean, it's not awesome that you have less energy, but it is awesome that you're able to like register the difference.
Yeah. So huge. So huge. And it made me feel it took the shame away from medic for some reason I have a shame about taking medicine that isn't natural.
Hmm.
We gotta unpack that.
That is very true. And I do know you, and you do have that.
Yeah, it's crazy though because weed is so strong now that it's too strong for me. It's insane. It's like 40%, which is, and like sometimes I feel like I'm on mushrooms.
Wow.
It's so crazy. So I'm like, I can't just rely on the way that I would dose cannabis
Hmm.
before because that's all, well, if I'm going to a dispensary, which they're everywhere here, so um I don't know why everyone's making weed that's so fucking strong. I just really don't understand it.
I guess now that it's been so normalized and legal everywhere, people's tolerances are greater, maybe.
That, yeah. And I think that, well, like for New York State, I think the goal is just different. I think the goal of legalizing cannabis for politicians is an effect that benefits them in some way. And regulating weed so that it is strong like this seems like it could be a thing. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's not normal. It's not fucking normal. My latest conspiracy. I haven't been a weed smoker my whole life. Also, I didn't start smoking weed until I was like 31 or 2
Mhm.
or 35. I don't even know. But I don't know. Just saying yes to medicine is where I'm at.
Yes. Yep. Saying yes to medicine is huge, especially when it's specifically meant for you.
Yeah.
You deserve medication.
How
All
dare you
right.
say that? Thank you for saying
Um,
that.
yeah. So our third section here is a top 20. We're just going to pull up to 20 things from our brain dump and reflections that we want to focus on the next week. Doesn't have to be exactly 20. The main purpose is we're trying to prioritize what's most important and what's feasible for us. So we'll take 15 minutes for this, and then we'll come back and start adding things to our calendar.
All right, thank you.
Mhm. Okay.
Well, I got about 18 things and that should do. What about you?
I got about 15. So, we'll see how this goes.
Mm-hmm.
Our last section here is our add to calendar, and it'll come eventually. And so basically we're just gonna take we're gonna take things from our top 20 and we're gonna plug them into our calendar to commit ourselves to them. And we're also gonna account for things like breathing time, stretching time, non-committal and non-communication time, appointments, meal planning, chores, the weather, whatever. So we'll take 10 minutes to do that, and then we will come back to wrap up.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. All right. So that's our time. How do we feel?
Pretty good. I'm kind of hoping to have a similar week. I want to be productive and I have a lot of balls rolling um, that I now have the energy for. So I want to try to keep that momentum. See what
Definitely.
that looks like for me.
I'm excited. The sun is right in my eye right now. Um, I'm excited for you to see if this week does turn out that way. And I'm excited to see if I can hold to my 5 day challenge. I might change things around. I'm still trying to figure out the rhythm for certain parts of my morning. But I also, on our facilitator guide, I did toss down there a duplicate of my challenges page. So you
Mm,
can see that at the bottom, it's got the template. So usually what I'll do is I'll just highlight everything from my current challenge, and then I'll move it over to an archive, and then I'll copy paste the template up above where that one was. So you
all
can
right,
see all that and then just use that however sees fit.
cool. I'm sure once I look at it, I'll have a idea immediately.
Yeah, I think the archive still has a bunch of my older ones in there. So if we do
Mm,
make a version for other people, we'll obviously want to clear those out and
yeah,
replace my personal stuff with like generic stuff. But that's at least something so you can see what it is.
yeah, for sure. And I will probably want your opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Alrighty. Well, that's our meeting. You remember, even though the meeting is over, that you can message me or anything at any time. I still recommend you get out of the house today,
mm,
if you are feeling up for it. Otherwise, take a nap, whatever feels right. But I
thank
care about
you.
you, and I hope you end up feeling better soon.
Thank you. I appreciate you being in community with me and being a good friend and a family member.
Absolutely. So let's have a better week, and then I will see you next Saturday.